Well, that was exciting. YouTube's like forces us onto this new extraordinarily and excessively crappy platform. And then they keep on giving me the streaming is not available right now pop up, and you gotta spam the thing. It's kind of like if you had to call in, like, here's a fun tip: you have to call in PayPal. You get the automated system. Please tell us what you'd like to say. If you swear at it 4 times and consecutively, it will actually pass you on to customer service person. Kind of exciting. So we kind of had to do that, of course, with the new YouTube's bullcrap studio that is absolutely stupid and annoying, and I just can't find good words to say about it, can I? It's horrible. It's a giant bloated JavaScripted mess, and JavaScript does not always like to work well. So, is what it is. But anyway, welcome back to DistroWars, and of course I did fix my title, but in all that mess, it didn't fix my title up correctly, so there we are. Manjaro Plasma versus KDE and Neon. So, let's see who is online today. White Mouse, hello there. Moonbase Alpha Grays. Roger says hello. Roger that. Oh, Nemgam boy, how's it going there? Jimmy the Noob, how's it going there? Nemgam votes for Manjaro because he's never heard of Neon. Here's the funny thing. Neon is actually the testing ground for Plasma, actually developed by the Plasma community. So, Bryce Hardy, greetings. I was running Manjaro KDE just a few days ago. Switched to Fedora 32 Plasma just yesterday. Really like it. Very good. Very good. Let's see. There's some stuff about voting. Unfortunately, I started it. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Half the population is Albania. Albanians vote Albanians. So Albanian presidents support the Albanians in Greece. Of Greece. Okay. There you go. Let's see. Okay, let's move beyond all that kind of stuff. Kitty says hello, and Kitty said, meow, I'm out of here. Kitty's like, he was sitting there, actually, I held myself pretty good. I did not actually sit there and curse at YouTube. I just refreshed the page multiple times. So anyway, that's what happened. Please say to my wife, Dana from Boyle Heights. Well, hello, Dana from Boyle Heights. And greetings to you, Mask Media. How are you doing? Simple Tech, how's it going there? Very dumbed down. It's lacking on some core functionality. Which one? Henry Smith. Hello there, Henry Smith. How are you? Dorco, greetings. Just wanted to just say what you really feelings about YouTube. Don't hold back. Yeah, I want to hold back a little bit because I do like to keep it family friendly around here. Okay, can we have distro peace? No, of course not. Distros are always warring, just like those of us in the Linux community. Come on, it's constantly fighting. Raw, is it Rua? Quarsma from Portugal. Greetings. My apologies if I butchered your name. Testing out for Farron OS. Been quite nice. Very good. That's what I see from the millennial workforce, my friend. The millennial cannot code well, clearly. It depends. Some of them are really good, some of them really are not. Okay, Kitty is ready to go back to space. Yeah, I know. YouTube Studio, new one stinks. Yes, it does. New YouTube is horrible, giant mess. Fun tip, though, if you have an old WaterFox, probably an old Firefox, it still can't support the new Studio, and so it still is redirecting me back to the old one. However, I can't leave comments on videos. I can't leave comments on the community tab. Basically, I can't do most of the things that I do want to do on YouTube, so kind of sucks. I've been looking at other things. I did finally get the media codecs installed for Vivaldi on Arch. Still, I tested it. Still, it's crashing every other page. Vivaldi just does not seem to work well for me, but we'll give it a try. Can you make a review about Fedora 32? Probably can. I think that Fedora is... did the official one come out? I think it did. I don't know. But yeah, maybe I'll look at it. I think I looked at the beta, though, so I don't know. If I looked at the beta, I might skip it. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. I have a lot of different things to do, and I've been toying around the idea with doing a joint show with my brother, and if I do that, I'm going to slash back the Switch to Linux schedule a little bit more. I'm already slashing out one day in the week so I can work on some home cooking hacks stuff. So I wanted to try and get the next video out this week. I did not make it, so it'll hopefully be out by next week. It's going to be a complete from scratch crumb topping apple pie. I have all the footage done. I need to finalize a couple banners, then put the video stuff together, write the recipe, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm doing that. But if we do another show, a joint show with my brother, then we're going to cut back the Switch to Linux schedule a little bit more again. But I think that'd be a really cool show. We want to make it a little bit saucier than mine and a little bit tamer than his, because we are complete opposites. But having two completely opposite people on the show, I think would be an amazing dynamic. So we've been thinking about it. We've been talking about it, and keep an eye out. It's something we would launch. We'd want to launch maybe a few weeks out. So it's nothing we're going to launch without a month of planning in advance. So I'm just letting you guys know about all that. But anyway, some adjustments and changes. Soon offering some mobile-centric services. Very good, very good. Video about building packages. I do not do a lot of that type of stuff on Linux, so I probably will not make a video about building packages. And a lot of the reason is, if you're new around here, the reason for that is that my task on my Linux channel, we are about teaching people who need to use Linux for basic work, how to use it for basic work. We don't get into building packages or doing super advanced stuff that pushes the limits of what computers can do. I try and use this channel to teach you, if you're a basic web developer, or in my case, I'm a basic author, or basic whatever else you do, I want to use Linux to teach you how you can do those types of things. And building packages is not something that fits into the core of that. So it's not something that's really on my radar to do. Where is the valve on that inflatable alien? Oh, if you think that that's an inflatable alien, then sorry. All right. Well, shall we dive on into the program? How late are we on? We're about 7 minutes in, or 8 minutes in now, huh? Integrating some mobile support services. There you go. Okay, basically noob like you. That's right. That's our task. I've done a couple building packages in the past, but it's nothing that I really have an interest to do. We'll do some server stuff though as well. It is still on my list to take the Pi hole and add a OpenVPN on top of it. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. OS called Alien OS, based on the Ubuntu server. Very cool. That's neat. Okay. QJack control gives me errors on Manjaro. How do I fix it? I don't know off the top. Okay. What am I doing up at midnight for DistroWars? That's what... Well, greetings, Paul. We should dive right on in so that you don't have to stay up super late. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? All right. Welcome back to Switch to Linux and another DistroWars. And today we are going to have a look at Manjaro Plasma versus KDE Neon. Of course, I just had a look at the new release of Manjaro Plasma, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And but I wanted to pin that against Neon because, of course, if you're unfamiliar with KDE Neon, this is actually the testing ground from the folks over at KDE themselves. So these are basically the people that's like, this is our build. Now, I like to point this out, and some people always argue me, so I have to just keep pointing it out. It's on their FAQs. No, Neon is not considered a distro by the developers. Although, what's really the difference? We'll get into that in a second. But according to them, it is a testing ground. So basically what you have is, it is an Ubuntu-based, but everything KDE is run on a rolling. So it's basically a Ubuntu LTS with a rolling Plasma on top of it. So you're basically going to get like a Kubuntu, but you're going to have Plasma's theming and Plasma's rolling applications on top of it. So if you are in need of something very current, then you might consider this. Now, when you go to grab it, then you have the option of grabbing the user edition, which is basically, this is the stable version. This is the one that we are using in our test. You also have a testing, which is even more rolling. And then you have the unstable, which is crazy. And then, your developer edition plus a lot of development libraries pre-installed. So you have a lot of options for KDE Neon. So the idea behind it is that KDE Neon is going to be a place where you can test the Plasma applications in a rolling Plasma environment with the Ubuntu package base. So can you use it as a distro? Absolutely. But according to their own FAQs, if you head on over there, is this the KDE distro? Nope. KDE believes it's important to work with many distributions. Is it a distro? Not quite. It's a package archive with the latest KDE software on top of a stable base. So, is it a rolling? Not quite. I just don't know if they. I don't know if they quite know what they're talking about. But no, of course. So I like to point that out. Just it's right up there on my GNOME and Mate and things that just make people go GNU. But anyway, I digress. So Manjaro, of course, just came out with their new version, 2004. Manjaro is officially available as a... Where's the download button? I do not like their new website. Well, it's fancy. It's so fancy you can't easily find the download buttons. You got to wait for them to pop up on the screen. Manjaro, while some stylistic part of your website's very good, make it more user-friendly. All right, so they do have 3 additional official versions, XFCE, KDE Plasma, and GNOME. They also have the Architect, which will allow you to build your own Manjaro. We've done videos on the Architect. There is also, if I can remember where it actually is, there are several community builds as well. Maybe they're linked at the bottom. I can't remember. Looking for other editions, use the menu at the top of the toolbar. I did use the menu. Where are we at? Okay, there you go. Community editions. So when you get to the community editions, you have other websites. Wow, my brain's not functioning. You have other desktop environments here as well. So a lot of different options and choices for you if you want to use Manjaro. Of course, for this, we are using Plasma because we are doing Plasma versus Plasma. Manjaro, of course, is based on Arch. So you're always going to get rolling packages. It will also get the latest versions of KDE. So basically what we're going to see is Ubuntu-based KDE versus a package base that's always rolling and the most latest KDE. So very interesting indeed how that is actually going to be looking at it. So let's go ahead without any further ado. We will go ahead and dive on in, and it looks like let's go ahead and boot up Manjaro first. So we'll go ahead and boot this dude up and see what it happens to look like. I'm just going to be quiet until it starts. Easier to edit that way. Actually, I'll read comments. I can find it from the black screen too. Oh, if I can remember where it was. All right, let's see. How do I fix it? What am I doing up? Okay, all right, read you. Greetings. Distro that's not a distro. I don't know, yeah. Hello, Vince. Greetings. Isn't KDE a desktop environment? Plasma is a desktop environment. Yes, it is indeed. My super secret password is definitely 123. All right, so here we are on the Manjaro desktop. One of the standout features of Manjaro is how gorgeous it is. Everything from the wallpapers to the theming elements. But we're going to have a run for the money because Neon itself is also beautifully themed. In general, Plasma's beautifully themed. In fact, it is one of the best out-of-the-box themed for just a raw desktop. What do I mean by a raw desktop? Well, if I were building Arch out of the box, or if I were building Debian out of the box, and I just say, hey, throw this desktop environment on it. Well, I love Cinnamon, and Cinnamon looks awesome in Manjaro and Linux Mint and a few other distributions. It looks as like it spawned from the ugly stick out of the repos of Debian and Arch out of the box. And in this case here, Plasma is the one that always looks good. So if you're looking for a good desktop environment that you can deal with the theming no matter what, Plasma is going to be it, because just the defaults are just gorgeous. And with this, we do have several different options. Of course, Manjaro does have the ability to change your kernels and your packages directly from the menu there. You can also, I think you can probably... You can look for the kernel menu if it's not in the system tray for you. So you can actually boot this guy up and change your kernel settings. Now, where you're going to find a lot of your differences are going to be some of your packages. Manjaro, being based on Arch, always rolls the packages. It doesn't hold package versions back. Plasma, Neon rather, is going to keep the repo versions of Ubuntu except for KDE applications. And so with this out of the box, both of these guys are running mostly just your KDE applications. So what we're going to do here is let's just have a look at a couple versions. So we have about Kate, about KDE. So we're on version 2004 of Kate. We got... let's have a look at conversation. Well, I pulled down KDE this time. Doesn't not easily tell me the versions right there. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out here. So we're at 1.7.5 on conversation. Just quit. Thank you. Don't need you. All right. As far as our basic theming, obviously, the Manjaro gives us a dark theming out of the box. Plasma does not. You can go into your theming here, and you can go ahead and choose what you want. So Manjaro gives us they give us the breathe. They give us a breeze, which is more of a light theme. So we do have light theme options. Now, breeze is one of the default KDE themes, and so you can see that breeze dark, and oxygen will come installed on any Plasma desktop. So you can actually see here that no matter what, this guy looks good. It looks modern. Of course, this is the old retro skeuomorphic that I absolutely love, but most people don't. Except I don't love the light there. I like the darker bar. So come on down here, grab my oxygen, apply that. Then here we have more of an older style, but still looks pretty nice. So we do have a few options. Of course, we do have that Breathe 2, which is a dark theme out of the box. And if we come on down, we have a Breathe 2 Dark, and we have a Breathe 2 Light shipped with Manjaro. So these are two Manjaro themes specifically that they get us that are not going to be found on the on Neon. All right, let's have a look at what that looks like. And let's go back to the dark, because I think that the dark is definitely the better of them on this build here. All right, so as far as doing package management, of course, Manjaro is going to have Pacman as a package manager. Neon is going to have apt because it is based on Ubuntu. But one of the things that Manjaro does is it dumps Discovery, which is probably not the best GUI software installer, and it goes with Pamac instead. And one of the things that they have done inside of Manjaro, particularly in the latest version, is if you head on down to your preferences in Pamac, you can actually enable, not only do we have the Arch user repository, we also have snap support and Flatpak support simply by toggling these buttons on. So if you do like these various features of snaps and Flatpaks, we can go ahead and turn those guys on. Now, if you're searching for any software, so let's look for KDE Live. If you're searching for any software, it's going to give us where it's from in addition to what it is. So here is the Flatpak version of KDE Live. Here is the version of KDE Live. Now, of course, this is a KDE application, and so being a KDE application, then we are probably going to see the latest version on Neon as well. So let's go with something like GIMP that is not specifically a KDE application. So here is that one's the repository one. There should be a Flatpak one in here somewhere as well. Hey, I can search for it like that. Look at that. So here's the, we have 2.10.18. Over here we have 2.10.18.5. Because Arch is so up to date, it's always going to have just absolutely the latest versions of everything. It even beats the Flatpaks and the snaps. So that is a good feature. So if you are looking for the absolute latest versions, including your feature changes, stuff like that, Manjaro is probably going to be a better bet. I also think that Pamak, while it's not as image heavy, it's not as flashy to look at, it does function a lot better. And so adding and removing applications is going to be easier. Now, both of them will have the ability to show you kind of your pop-up to indicate when you have system updates to do. Most of the other systems are going to be basically equivalent. Manjaro does give us the option when we show alternatives on our menu. We have application dashboard, application menu. Both of those should be in Neon as well. We also have the simple menu here, and I don't think that we're going to have the simple menu over there, but we'll have a look. I might be surprised. So there is just a brief walkthrough on Manjaro Plasma. So let's go ahead and come on back in looking at Neon instead. All right, let's have a look at a couple of comments, and then we will do this. Let's see. Whoa, what's the... Okay, when did I switch to Linux? So I added... Why don't we say this? I added Linux to my repertoire of operating systems in... Might have been 2015 or 2016. It was just prior to Windows 10 coming out. Because I saw the writing on the wall about how bad Windows 10 was going to be as far as data and privacy and things like that. And I said, you know what? I don't want anything to do with that nonsense. So I remembered that old Linux distribution that I had played around with a number of years earlier. And I installed that and it was like, wow, this is completely viable. And so I added that on there. Now, I have Windows systems, Mac systems, Linux systems, because I am a web developer and I need to know how things work. You know, sometimes I need to help a client with something on some other alternative operating system, and so I do that. So I switched to mostly Linux stuff, probably closer to 16 or 17 or so, is when I used majority Linux stuff. And I'll just keep using that Windows 7 computer back there until it finally dies, crashes, and burns and stuff like that. Or, you know, some scammer finds access to it or whatever else that happens to be. So that's when that had occurred. M110 likes Gnome and Cinnamon. Just stopped in for a quick minute to say hello. Well, greetings, Mitchell. How are you doing, my friend? Brain.exe stopped working. Yes, it did. It did. Maybe you need to run your virus scanner. Oh, he's talking about my brain. My brain.exe stopped working. So yeah, I need to run a virus scanner on my brain. Ubuntu base versus Arch base. Yep, Blue Screen of Death, Brain Edition. There you go. Any creature morph. Greetings. Brain.exe stopped working due to wine. I was wondering why they call it wine. Ubuntu-based distros are easier to use. I don't see that as necessarily being true when we're looking at Manjaro. Okay. Based on Windows, maybe, yeah. I'm going to try normal kernel instead of real time. See if I can get is it GuitarX working? I don't know what GuitarX is, so I'll have to look into that. I don't know. So this is on a Raspberry Pi, different edition, of course, looks really nice. Yep. It's Mint 18.3 or 19.1. Well, if you're installing Linux Mint new, go with 19.3. That's what I would do. Okay. I was holding back on that for a while because the Ubuntu 18.04 package base is not nearly as good as the 16. But after running that for a little bit on my new web design Linux Mint computer, it actually works really nice. Okay, watch 2 times, catch up really fastly. Well, I hope you can catch up really fastly. I mean, come on. Great, Jessica. Okay, isn't KDE Neon an up-to-date KDE with rotten Ubuntu underneath? It is Ubuntu underneath. I think you need to change some settings or install new Wi-Fi drivers. There you go. Like the modern style, like stuff in Ubuntu 14.10. All right, let me go ahead and boot this guy up, and then we'll jump on over to the screen when it's ready to go. Noob, because I still can't find my wireless drive, although I'm done updating my Manjaro. Apt versus Pac-Man. Okay. It's the difference between different Manjaro releases because it's rolling. Well, the difference is, are the repositories up to date? Is the software up to date? One of the challenges with Arch is if you have an old enough version of Arch, you could get it pulled in and then it'll just kind of crash and burn itself because repos are out of date or something goofy's out of date and you have to go in and manually change something around. So it's going to be better to always have an update to the packages. So that's the difference. Also, they'll do a few little differences, little things back and forth, like maybe new theming and stuff like that. All right, well, let's see. Oh boy, where am I at? All right, I have a spot. We're ready to go. Let's go. All right, and here we are on Plasma. Well, we've been on Plasma on both of them, aren't we? My brain just doesn't function. Brain.exe has failed. All right. Here we are on Neon. So over here on Neon, again, you just saw the update there. It is telling us that updates are available. So we do get the update that is all going to be the same. All of the other theming, although this one's a light theme, Manjaro was a dark theme, they are both very good. It does appear as though we probably have fewer applications over here, although we might have pretty much about everything that we might want over here. This is something on the Office tools. Manjaro gives us the option between SouthMaker and LibreOffice. Neon, we don't have any Office suite installed, so you can go ahead and install that later on. So it is very much a minimal distribution. It doesn't even come with every single KDE application either. It's just kind of a very minimal system. So if you're looking for something minimal to start with and the underlying package base isn't really your concern, then this one would be a good option. Since we looked at the theming in the last version, let's go ahead and do the same over here as well. And let's go ahead and have a look at our global theme. So you can see that we only have 2 options here. Oh, they got rid of Oxygen. I'm so sad. Are they still in Plasma style at least? Yay, we still have Plasma style there. All right. So we have Breeze and we have Breeze Dark. So we pretty much just have the light and the dark version over there. And then inside of your Plasma style, you can choose between Air, Breeze, Breeze Dark, Breeze Light, and Oxygen. So if I go, I think we already are on Breeze Dark. We can change that over to Breeze. See there, it's pretty much going to be the same. If you do like Air, that's going to give us just some lighter views. So you can see what that's going to look like there. So a couple fewer themes. Some people care, some people don't care. I do think that despite they're both very good out of the box, I do like Manjaro's a little bit better, just the way it is. Although this one has some transparency to it. It's not quite as flat, which I don't necessarily care for the flat systems. All right, now as I mentioned, Discover is not always the most user-friendly way to install packages. It can look a little bit prettier, but that's pretty much what we have. So let's have a look at what we have as far as KDE Live, and let's see, 5.18. Okay, so this is going to be version 1804, or yeah, 1804. I think, if I remember correctly, I think that Manjaro's was a newer version. So you do notice that we are a little bit older versions on some things, simply because of Manjaro will roll more. Even the KDE Live, they didn't pull that in from the latest versions. All right, let's about console 19.12.3. Can we actually find KDE versions over here? I don't think we can. I thought I used to have those. All right. So out of the box, a lot lighter on the software, mostly because it's more of a developer's testing ground than anything else. But you are going to have a lot of the latest KDE applications available over here. Discover, we don't have the snap pack support. We don't have the snap support. We don't have the flat pack support. And overall, it's not going to be quite as good of a user experience if you're looking for applications. We still can find pretty much anything that we want, just because it's based on Ubuntu, and Ubuntu does have a lot of software installed. Let's go ahead and pull up console again. I want to actually see if this supports snap. Let's just see if there's snap is installed. So, okay, so it looks like snap is set up, but there is no snaps installed. So we can actually go right into installing snaps, but we're not going to see snaps show up inside of Discover as we will in Manjaro's PAMOC. So with that being said, if you are looking for a GUI option to install snaps, flat packs, Manjaro is definitely going to be the better option, although both systems are going to support it out of the box. It's just a question of where do you get it from. If you really want to use snaps, though, installing a snap on the terminal is not a big deal. I mean, snap, install, package name, not exactly difficult. So that's really the differences. There's not a lot of differences. Really, your biggest concern is going to be the versions of the software. Even this, it looks like this is a little bit more out of date. I did just download it today. It is telling me that there are like 200 updates, so maybe I should have updated it prior to this. We'll go ahead and do that and see what it looks like when we are done with that. So those are kind of my analyses. Both good distributions, excellent implementations of Plasma. Manjaro is definitely a more ready-to-use distribution with the software it has installed, versus Plasma. Neon, I'm going to keep doing that. Neon is going to be a little bit more of a developer edition if you're developing software, if you want to test the latest Qt platforms or things like that. Neon's going to be a little bit better. If you do want an Ubuntu-based, hey, go for Neon. If you don't really care what your base is, I would probably steer you more towards Manjaro. I think it's better. It's more mature. And those are the thoughts and the ideas. So let me know your thoughts on all those in the comments down below. I gotta say, today's video, I am gaffing more than Mr. Biden. Wowzers, my brain doesn't function today, and I completely forgot to install updates onto this. So anyway, well, there was a very crappy live. I'm not a big fan of how that video turned out. I think I might have to recut that before I release it. All right, give me all your criticisms, folks. I think I'm going to recut that video after we end the live stream. I'm not happy with it. Don't like Canonical because they're making Ubuntu spyware. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of what Canonical's doing these days. Arch, something updated. Get it out now. But it breaks everything. Just get it out. That's right. Old Manjaro does not have Snap or Flatpak support. I did a huge update, and it's not there on either Manjaro installs. Interesting. Yeah, maybe there's a reason to update, refresh it. Seven is best OS, and the rest are junk. I think XP was pretty good too. Had Pamac break my install, so don't do updates through Pamac. Yeah, updating through Pamac is a little bit more dangerous. VSync to 0 and compositor settings. There we go. What antiviruses do you recommend for Linux? You generally don't need to run antivirus for Linux. And most antivirus applications are just checking for Windows viruses. So, Linux can be a carrier for Windows viruses, but they don't generally do anything unless, of course, you have something like Wine installed. Haven't used Windows since Win 7. Do I have to install antivirus on Windows or on Linux? Pamac can be unstable, so does anyone know how to build from AUR using Pacman? Well, you install Yay, and it's just Yay and the name of the software. I don't know if Yay is set up automatically in it or not, though. I'm not sure about that. Try Manjaro a few types and it breaks after a few weeks for me every time I've used it. Oh, YouTube's new comment thread just keeps on jumping around on me. Might choose it for web development. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'll work for that. I don't see use installing KDE on different distros. Why not just have one distro? Well, because when you go under the hood, distros do change a little bit. It's not quite as on the surface level, but there's a very good reason why you might want to run pure Arch instead of something like Manjaro. There's reasons you might want to run Debian or Fedora instead of Ubuntu or vice versa. And so I would rather have the options and let me turn on my brain and figure out the best ways to go. That's kind of my thought. I mean, I'd rather have more options than not enough options. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see, 419. Okay, 18. Wait, hold on. Still trying to decipher what version of Kdenlive this is. We're going to install it. I'm running the updates because I want to recut the videos with an updated Neon because I just downloaded it today and I told it to install updates, but it never actually does. Budgie is very newbie friendly. Yeah, Budgie is awesome. Got Discord from Snap and Discord. Use the default cursor instead of custom one. Discord dev from the website. Use the custom cursor you set. Yeah, that's because the Snap is going to isolate itself from the rest of your system, and the deb version is not. All right, check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88. Back to doing some videos again over there. When's your next one, Ricky? All right, multimedia, KDE Live. Let's see what version of KDE Live we're on. KDE Neon is better, seems lightweight. All right. About KDE Live. So we're 1912 is the version of KDE Live we have over here. KDE Live closed unexpectedly. I pushed the close button. It's like, what? It did not close unexpectedly. It might have closed unexpectedly to you, but it did exactly what I told it to do. My links. All right. Put the .icons folder with default icons pointing to the mouse cursor folder. There you go. Solus versus Zorin. Do they have enough comparison, though? I try and do something that's somewhat similar. I guess I could try it, but we'll think about it. All right, let's see. How's Canonical making Ubuntu spyware? You're confused. The controversy is around it collecting a fingerprint of the system on install, and even if you say do not install or do not send the report, it still sends a ping to Ubuntu to say someone installed it. And some people have an issue with that. Those are really, for me, I don't like that. But that's not the reason I'm not a huge fan of Ubuntu right now. The biggest problem I have with Ubuntu right now is that they're pushing snaps over repository applications. And I think that that's problematic because of the snap distribution model and things like that. Great channel, by the way. Love your gratitude. Well, thank you, Saint. Okay. In Manjaro Pamak, you might have to enable rchoose repository, then install Yay. You might have to. You could just follow instructions to... you might just be able to follow some instructions on installing Yay through Arch as well. I'd have to look into it. I know I've done it before without Pamak. Hoisting, greetings. One thing I miss about Mint that Manjaro does not have is the locate small tool. All right, and of course since I started up conversation, now it wants to start itself up every time I turn on the computer, and that's actually annoying as all get out. Let's see if I can... But it is not in the startup applications. That's very interesting. All right, check for some updates. Now I'm on Windows 10 with telemetry disabled, but I usually use Manjaro KDE. I do like Deepin, but I'm waiting for US updates. All right, let's see if there are any updates. Manjaro is up to date. All right, let's go ahead and reboot the system. Actually, let me reset this guy back. There's application launcher. Grandma in Mexico called mom and said there is a flood in Alberta. Yeah, we have a flood warning starting tomorrow. Manjaro Cinnamon was installed January 15th, 2018. Still running great. There you go. Where's the kitty cam? There he is. Oh, and now he's going to move. What? You want to come up here now? Cat, I just put you on the camera. Go sit over there so people can see you again. Fine, come on. Roar. Yeah, snaps do take up too much space. All right, just gonna close you. Go on, lay down. There we are. Now we got Kitty. Okay. And let me just do one more reset on Neon, and then I think we'll get out of here in a few minutes here. Use Pop! OS instead of Ubuntu. Yeah, Pop! OS is really good. That's a great one to use. Manjaro's overrated. Maybe be. All right. But I still like it. KDE, because tiling Windows Manager lever can just install scripts to turn KDE into a tiling Windows Manager. There you go. Okay. Still like the simplicity of MX Linux. Very ugly for me. All right. Managed to stay awake for the streams. Yeah, well, we covered most of the content of it, so if you want to head to sleep, man, thanks for hanging out with us. Or you can hang out while I finish up these comments, if the comments ever get to the bottom. Listen to death metal. All right, greetings. Okay. Save session to decide what you want. Yeah, it was a situation where since I didn't close it, actually quit out of the application, it restarted itself. Keyword searcher system, it's handy to have. Cool. Deepin 20 beta is out. Changing a lot of stuff for the better, like a separate settings application. Nice. Very cool. I'll have to look into it. Okay. So Plasma, Neon is reset. Uh-oh. People are binging me on Discord. I forgot to start up Discord and tell people I was going live. It's been a crazy day. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jess, for that link. I will have a look at that. Ideas how to skip ISP modem to plug the fiber to the pfSense server. Off the top, I don't, but ask that on the Friday stream when Quint is here, or if Quint's on the stream tomorrow. He might have some solutions for you. He's actually gotten around using Google's required modem for his fiber setup. He's not using pfSense. I think he's using Ubiquiti routers. So off the top, without looking at the hardware, I couldn't tell you. I'd have to see it to know what I'm looking for. Kitty needs to lose weight. Oh, of course Kitty needs to lose weight. Hey, Kitty, you need to go on a diet. All right, you're not getting any treats today. He's like, nope, I'm going to leave then. I was kidding. You can have your treats. You can have your treats. I think we have here a case of coveting. He's like, I want those treats. I want the treats. I want the treats. I want the treats. Discord link. All right, there's a Discord link for you. Okay, PyQuam do wobbly windows. I don't know. Handling all this beer thing. All what beer thing? Is there something going on in the beer in the world? Oh, that beer. Oh, the sea beer. Well, you know, I want to do the report videos of New York, but with YouTube literally censoring everything that's not the exact talking points of who, Tommy, whatever. I don't know if I want to do it on YouTube. So if I do that, then I think I'm just going to throw that directly to BitChute. So bitchute.com/switchedtolinux. So I might just go ahead and throw it directly over there because I don't want to risk it on this channel. But the breakdown in New York, that's the report I was looking at. And I'm looking at it going, this isn't a big deal. This is so not a big deal. We're ignoring Henry? What? Why are we ignoring Henry? Gorgeous fat kitty. This kitty is, how old are you, kitty? I think he's, are you 10 years old now? I think he's 10 years old this year. Yes, he'll be 10 years old this summer. He's middle-aged cat. All right. $10 a month right now from Ting. Yep. Doesn't have many great phone options. Yep. Video broke for you. Oh no, the video broke for you. All right, kitty, you ready for some kitty treats? Let's get some kitty treats. 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 Oh boy. Oh. Here you go. Go again. Go hunt for kitty treats. And there's another one for that camera. And let's do one for this camera over here too. Whoop. Are the fingers looking good? They are. Here, guys. They're finger looking good. Yeah. Their finger looking good, aren't they? Yes, they are. You gonna hang out with us for a while, or are you gonna be a fair weather friend? You got your kitty treats. You're gonna get out of here now. You're gonna be that cat. He's like, yep, got my kitty treats. I'm out of here. See ya. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Of course, this is the view I have right now. Go, kitty, go. Go, kitty, go. It's a full moon tonight. Full moon tonight. In New Jersey, have to agree, though it's led to CO2 shortages. That's fairly funny. Very interesting. I hope it hasn't led to too much CO2 shortages, because my CO2 tank is about empty. That's sad. All right, guys, we are going to wrap this one up right about here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And we'll be back tomorrow with a supporters stream. I have a couple ideas for you supporters that might still be watching. I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to go with, but if you have any ideas as well, shoot me an email or drop them in the Discord supporters line if you want. And we will catch you guys later.